Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of Oath Breakers. Oath Breakers is it used to be a weekly series on this channel, but it's now mostly just whenever I feel like doing one. But yeah, Oath Breakers is basically a series here on YouTube on the Hot Picture Education Network YouTube channel, where we discuss every oath-breaking piece of shit throughout the U.S. currently. Including pre-oath breakers like Tom Cooke, who we're talking about today, who is a Democrat state Senate candidate for District 4 here in Ohio. He is trying to run against George Lang, who recently made sort of a stupid comment about possibly if Republicans lose in the November elections, it would be civil war basically in the country, which is ironic that you have pieces of shit like Tom who are sitting there claiming it's a divisive rhetoric and not standing for it as a so-called military vet, which he is actually a military vet, so I'm not going to say so-called, just say military vet at that point. But yet, he will never condone his own party's actions, like the fact you've had multiple Democrats in the past several years, including ex-Congressman Tim Ryan, literally call for the murder of MAGA supporters, to which an 18-year-old kid named Kyler, a couple days later, was killed in, I believe it was Montana. Not to mention, since then, you've actually had a guy in Michigan over the weekend literally murder some old man or try to murder some old man. The guy's in broken condition right now is what it is. He might die from his injuries. When he's putting what Trump sign in his yard, this guy ran on ATV is what it was then. And then hurt a bunch of other people that were all Trump people is what it is there. And then proceeded to take his own life after the fact. Not to mention you have the murder of Aaron J. Danielson in Oregon a few years back now. So yeah, you've had Democrats legitimately attack and kill at least 3 or 4 people that are all pro-Trump folks is what it is, dude, in the last 4 to 5 years now. And that's just the ones we know about, by the way. It could be way more than that, honestly. But yet, people like Tom Cooke will never, call out their own party at that point, though. What he will do instead, though, and this is why I made this episode today, which we're going to call his Oathbreaker Ass at this point, I went to his website because I wanted to see exactly where this motherfucker stands on gun rights in this country. And, of course, it's exactly where I thought it was. He's an oath-breaking piece of shit Democrat, just like the rest of these fucking scumbags that will sit there and, as a military veteran of this country, will swear an oath to the U.S. Constitution, but yet be an oath-breaking sack of shit after the fact is what it is, dude. And going to Tom's website here, you literally have multiple platforms here. Got economy and jobs, education, environment, agriculture, corruption, which is ironic because he's one of the most corrupt motherfuckers in the entire race. I guarantee this dude's entire campaign is funded by Michael Bloomberg in every town, etc. there, dude. And then we got healthcare, and then we got Second Amendment. And I love how he writes this, too, by the way. It said, I do not propose taking a weapon away from any American citizen who has a right to own one, but I do propose increased regulation. And then you actually click on it here. It says, cop's son and retired soldier. So the guy basically admits he is the son of a police officer in this country and then a retired soldier himself. So you would think they would actually give him some integrity, right? Like being raised a son of a cop, being a military man. You would think you'd actually have a respect for the Constitution, an actual oath to the Constitution, if you will. Something you swore to uphold and defend when you were a military service member in this country, sir. But no, you don't, because you're a fucking sack of shit Democrat like the rest, buddy. Said, my father put my first weapon in my hands as a teenager and taught me responsible gun safety. I'm a supporter of the Constitution and the Second Amendment. As of October 2023, and this is where he lies his ass off, by the way. This whole fucking paragraph right here is straight from Awesome in Action bullshit, is what it is. Said, firearms injuries were cited as the leading cause of death in children ages 1 to 19. So you're including 18 and 19-year-old adults as kids, you fucking moron. Which, again, that's how you get your bullshit stats of, so many children, leading cause of children deaths. Because you're including fucking teenagers and literal fucking adults ages 18 and 19, you jerk off. Fucking lying prick. And he goes on and says, whether it be due to homicide, suicide, or unintentional injury. Oh, you mean like gangbanging? So we have to do better to protect our youth. Second Amendment, second word is well regulated. We must take steps to ensure we regulate weapons in this country. No, actually, wrong, dickface. What the Second Amendment reads as, meaning well regulated, you fucking idiot, is having a proper working weapon, you dumb shit. which is exactly what the Founding Fathers meant when they wrote it like that. Let's go ahead and actually read the Second Amendment of the Constitution, something this oath-breaking prick doesn't want to read. And by the way, it's not the second word, you dumb son of a bitch. It's actually the third word, because it's a well-regulated militia, being necessary to the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed, jackass. And how does piece of shit old Tom want to do this stuff, dude? By the way, I love how because we're going to go to his X page in a minute and call him out on that shit, dude, because of the way he's pushing shit at George Lang right now. When this guy's literally trying to disarm our state right now with the same BS Allison Russo and her fucking asshole tyrant friends have been trying to do for 7 fucking years now in this state, dude. Okay, Don said, I do not propose taking a weapon away from any American citizen who has the right to own one, but I do propose increased regulation to protect our law-abiding gun owners whose Second Amendment rights are threatened by bad actors. Oh, you mean like yourself? Yeah, the regulations he proposes include universal background checks, which is nothing more than a Hitlerian gun roster, red flag laws to, quote, alert authorities and protect those threatened. No, red flag laws directly break almost the entire Bill of Rights, you fucking asshole. Not to mention the 14th Amendment of the Constitution, you dumb son of a bitch. Slowly, 1st, 2nd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 8th, 9th, 10th, and 14th Amendments are all broken by the fucking red flag laws, you idiot. It's, by the way, why a lot of places have already deemed them on constitutional state levels, and why it wasn't for SCOTUS being so fucking corrupt right now, they would have already taken a damn case and deemed them unconstitutional at a fucking federal level right now. Because they are. They directly violate people's rights. You are literally doing ex parte hearings against people. By the way, this is some shit I've been fighting against, dude, since at least 2019 right now in this state after fucking Dayton Massacre. You know, the same Dayton Massacre that was done by Tom Cooke's fucking leftist buddy, Connor Betts, a fucking Antifa and BLM terrorist who should have been a private person in this entire fucking state since he was in his fucking teens when he created rape and kill us in his fucking high school. But no, you fucking dumbass Democrats let his piece of shit fucking parents buy off some fucking cop so the charges were dropped. And so he never had an actual juvenile record at that point to disqualify from gun ownership in this country. And so he was able to go buy a fucking gun then legally and do his fucking sick-ass massacre, of which he killed his own sister, by the way, in that situation. That's one of the 9 people who actually murdered there 5 years ago in Dayton. Anyway. But yeah. Red flag laws wouldn't have done shit to stop that, by the way. Neither would universal background checks, you fucking idiot. By the way, all universal background checks do is take away private gun ownership and force people to have every fucking gun that they buy or sell on a goddamn gun registry, which is nothing more than a future confiscation list for their jackbooted fucking thugs, dude. Their DACA cops, etc. at that point. So yeah, fuck you, Tom Cooke, you piece of shit. Oath-breaking fucking prick. And then the last one he puts on here, registration of so-called assault weapons, weapons capable of employing large-capacity magazines and or convertible to automatic mode. You know what that means then? That means not only just ARs, AKs, etc., dude. He's talking about fucking Glocks too and shit like that, or any kind of Glock, clone and stuff like that that would be able to become essentially a switched Glock is what it is at that point then. Which, by the way, I want to point something out on that one, Tommy boy. The only people doing crimes with Glocked switched guns are fucking black criminals in this state, you fucking idiot. It's these same little gangbanger fucking 13 to 14-year-olds that keep going down to various churches across this state right now. They're having festivals and fairs and shit at them. And having a full, 33-round stick in their little fucking illegally obtained Glocks when they're underage fucking children, for God's sakes. You want to talk about gun violence, jackass? Let's talk about the fucking black-on-black crime going on in this state. Let's talk about fucking how the hell are fucking 10, 11, 12, 13, 14-year-old black males, preteens and teenagers, getting their hands on fucking weapons, dude. Are they stealing them? Or are they being handed to them by other gang members who are over the age of 18? Maybe, I don't know, go after the fucking prosecutors in this state that aren't prosecuting people the fucking first time around. Like how they didn't prosecute that piece of shit, Tara McLeod, when she was a 17-year-old fucking gang-banging piece of shit who'd already robbed multiple places with her fucking friends, only to then let her off in juvenile court several times for her to turn around and murder Cleveland cop Shane Bartak. And that's why she's sitting in prison right now on, I think it's pretty much a life sentence, which should be death penalty in the state, honestly. But of course, we can't even do that shit because fucking rhinos and Dems in the state are too chicken shit to actually enforce firing squads as a state death penalty method. And instead, are sitting there trying to do it with our state death penalty on top of everything else then, dude. It's fucking bullshit across the board right now. And yes, Tom, it's going to be pieces of shit like you, sir, that are going to be the ones creating a fucking civil war in this country, you douche. And then continues on with the stupidity here about AWBs and stuff like that. Which, by the way, I want to point something out there, buddy. There's already multiple court challenges currently going through SCOTUS to deem assault weapons bans as the unconstitutional BS they've always been, dude. Not to mention, between my childhood, between the time I was 9 and 19 years old, between 94 and 2004, there was at least 2 years of my life I could not own an AR-15 in this country because of pieces of shit like you and your fucking Democrat buddies fucking with my constitutional rights, asshole. And yes, when you were attacking any kind of gun, especially one that is very much a common use firearm in this country, which both AR-15s, AK-47, or sorry, both AR-15s and Glocks are, which I guess I could technically add in AK-47 as well on that one, because they're all fucking common use firearms at this point, dude. As they should be. And that's the entire point. And the whole point of that is, dude, if you're going to try and regulate something with a BS ban, good fucking luck enforcing it, dickhead. Because unless you're going to come to my house and everybody else's house and take our shit firsthand, dude, like, by the way, you best be prepared to get shot in the fucking stand your ground state, asshole. Because I guarantee you fucking kick my door and there's going to be fucking lead flying at your ass at that point. I'm not afraid to say that shit, dude. I have every legal right to defend my fucking property against intruders. And if you are literally kicking my door in at any time of the day, I consider you to be a threat to my life and my safety. And it's as simple as that. And I consider you to be a threat to everybody else's life and safety at that point as well. And it's exactly why we have red flag laws. It's exactly why we have constitutional carry in this state right now, because of fucking fuckfaces like you, buddy, trying to take our shit from us. And have your fucking criminal idiots then turn around and try to victimize us multiple times with this then. So anyway, continuing on with Tom's BS here, it said, and what do I mean by registration? I only want accountability, no less than the DMV knowing you own a car. And just like the DMV requires you to have a license to operate a car, I would propose the state be aware you both have the training to properly handle the type of weapon and know how to properly store it. So on that one, he's also calling for safe storage laws by default on that last part of that, dude. Fuck you, Tom. Fuck you, dude. Seriously. You are such a fucking oath-breaking little cunt bitch, dude. You really fucking are, buddy. Like, this is why I've said so many times in the past, dude. We must, at this point, have a 20th Amendment to the Constitution that is read as follows. Age limits, health limits, term limits, and automatic disqualifications both on holding office and running for office if things you were running on are direct infringements upon the U.S. Constitution. When you are directly attacking the Second Amendment, your ass is done, motherfucker. Stop trying to act like you give a shit at all about 2A, motherfucker, when you clearly don't, you dick. You talk a good game there, Tommy boy. But no, you are a threat to my life and to everyone else's lives in this fucking state right now, dude. And I'll tell you right now, asshole, if you manage to cheat your way into office, which is the only way that you beat George Lang at this point, I will personally, under Ohio Patriot Education Network moniker, file a massive voter fraud lawsuit against your ass, because I know for a fact the only way you fucking win is through massive voter fraud by a bunch of dead people in the fucking graveyards of this state and a bunch of fucking illegals like the 40,000 Haitians that were brought into Springfield recently voting for your ass illegally is what it is there. So yeah, you best be prepared to have a lawsuit shoved so far up your ass, dude, you ain't never seen the fucking State House ever. So it's that simple, bud. And yeah, it basically goes on to talk about Tom's military service here and talk about how he was a, let's see here. So, while an officer, Tom earned parachute wings and later a master's degree in strategic intelligence from National Intelligence University in Washington, D.C. During a 20-year commission tenure, he served in various intelligence roles and planning capabilities around the world to include U.S. Navy Atlantic Command, Supreme Headquarters, Allied Forces Europe, or SHARP, in Berlin, where he continued in community theater. So basically wars. He was basically a war hawk is what it is, dude. That's exactly what it is nowadays. I'm not surprised by that one. Anyway, unless I was using screen sharing here. Let me screen share this real quick. Continued on there and said, NATO Central Command in Netherlands, U.S. Defense Intelligence Agency, or DIA. By the way, DIA is the American version of the CIA. And U.S. Joint Forces Command. He also served as intelligence analyst with the 17th Airborne Corps during Operation Desert Storm / Shield in Saudi Arabia and Iraq. Retired as Lieutenant Colonel in 2000. Military awards included and various shit there about Bronze Stars and anything else like that. That's what it is. Yeah, and these are one of the biggest. By the way, this is the shit that shows that you're one of the biggest oath-breaking pricks here, bud. Because you claim to be such a great fucking military man. And I guarantee this guy killed people under just following orders. Bullshit is what it is, dude. Like, as every good Nazi would do in this country, you know? Which is exactly what this dude is. When you're pushing disarmament like this, dude, you're a fucking Nazi, legitimately. You are no better than Adolf Hitler was in Nazi Germany. You are no better than the SS was under Adolf Hitler's Nazi Germany. You're no better than the fucking Bolsheviks were in Stalin's regime. You're no better than the fucking Khmer Rouge was under Pol Pot and every other dictator in this fucking earth, dude. People that followed Mao's bullshit, etc. The Maoists. I think that's what it's called. Yeah. You want to talk about corruption, guy? Yeah, everybody says this. Ohio politics has a corruption problem with the Republican legislator focused wholly on business development. Ohio is a easy mark. Yeah. Says the guy whose Democrat buddy, Allison Russo, literally took a fucking fat envelope cash bribe from MDA members 3 years ago. Not to mention hate hoaxer Casey Weinstein that during the same fucking time period I was federally swatted for some bullshit. This fucking asswipe less than a month later, literally hate hoax himself, using USPS system, was never arrested for that shit. Never investigated for that shit, by the way. That's the thing, dude. As long as you're a Democrat in this country, you can get away with fucking everything, dude. But God forbid you're right of center, or even center for that matter. They will nail you to the fucking wall every time politically. And this is the horse shit that Tom was saying was unacceptable behavior by George Lang. This was Lang at J.D. Vance's rally in Middletown the other day.
Fight! We got time. Come on. Hey, we are in the fight for the soul of our nation.
By the way, this is current State Senator George Lang right here.
We are in a fight for
who
our
Tom's
kids
running against.
and our grandkids, a fight that we can never imagine. I believe
Damn right.
wholeheartedly Donald Trump and Butler County's J.D. Vance are the last chance to save our country politically. I'm afraid if we lose this one, it's going to take a civil war to save the country. It will be saved. It's the greatest experiment in the history of mankind. And if we come down to a civil war, I'm glad we got people like Schmitty and the bikers from Trump on our side.
Yeah, he wasn't calling for civil war. He said it comes down to a civil war. Like, there's a huge difference between that, buddy. And you got Tom saying, I'm Tom Cooke. My opponent just encouraged a civil war if Republicans lose. I'm a veteran running against this guy to bring honor and civility back to Columbus. Talk about dishonorable piece of shit you are, Tom Cooke. And then saying this shit. We won't stand for this type of rhetoric. It's dangerous and we can do better. That's why I'm going to unseat George Lang in November. You ain't unseating shit without massive voter fraud, you dickless homo. So, seriously, I'm so fucking sick of pieces of shit like Tom Cooke, dude. This guy is such a fucking scumbag. He is such a fucking complete sack of garbage entirely, dude. By the way, that is in the Butler County area there. Which, truthfully, honestly, if we have true integrity where Butler County is located, dude, that is like literally red state at that point. So that should immediately go to Lang, no matter what, dude. That should be a blowout for every Republican on a fucking ticket right there in that area, dude. Whether it be Trump, Vance, whether it be Lang, etc. There. So yeah, I swear to God, dude, if it is a true, just election and no voter frauds involved and stuff like that, dude, it should be a complete blowout for Trump and Vance, and it should be a huge blowout for George Lang. The only fault that I will say to George Lang in this situation is, dude, don't puss out. Don't fucking backpedal on your fucking words. No, double down on that shit. Be like, hey, my opponent, Tom Cooke, is an oath-breaking prick. He is literally calling for disarmament of Ohioans right now with universal background checks, red flag laws, and assault weapons bans. This guy has no business being in power right now. How fucking hard is that, dude? And yes, it is Democrats like Tom Cooke who are the ones pushing for civil war in this country by literally trying to disarm American citizens of our right to keep and bear arms, which when you are attacking any firearm in this country, any ability to obtain firearms through private sales, or any ability to not be having your fucking rights stripped from you based on ex parte hearings with bullshit unconstitutional red flag laws for anything you say or do or whatever the case be, it's bullshit, dude. You know, look at how many people are being killed by red flag laws, by the way, across this country. We know of at least 2 in Maryland, being Gary J. Willis and Duncan Lemp. We know of at least a couple thousand people in Florida right now who are having to act as their own lawyers currently for like at least 3 to 5 years right now, since having their stuff taken from them. Because, shocker, with red flag law confiscation in this country, you don't actually get a lawyer by default because it's not considered a civil trial, or I believe it's not considered a criminal trial, so it is considered a civil matter. And so you either have to A, act as your own lawyer, or B, come up with a fuck ton of money and hire a lawyer to help you get your rights restored is what it is then. And that's exactly what people are having to do in Florida, people are having to do in Connecticut, people are having to do in every other state that has passed unconstitutional red flag horseshit in this country, dude. Not to mention the bad actor cops out there that will literally use this because people don't like this what it is, dude. And I'd like to point something out on that one, too, with red flag laws, not to mention universal background checks, is that you know who's exempt from that shit? The police and the military. The same police and the military that they will use with their fucking ARs and their fucking M4s to go take your ARs and your shit. Like, it's all a bunch of crap, dude, is what it is. It's all unconstitutional horse shit across the board. And we're not going to fucking have it, Tom. We're not going to have pieces of shit like you in our General Assembly ever, dude. You might as well just drop out of the race right now, buddy. Because you're not going to win. You're not going to beat George Lang through any kind of means unless it's by voter fraud. At which point, I will personally step up and I will use every dollar that I have to file a lawsuit against you for voter fraud. And I will make sure to take that shit all the way to fucking SCOTUS, and I will use that case precedent to take down every fucking Democrat for the past 6 years, including Biden and Harris, including Sherrod Brown, etc., who've all cheated their way into fucking power in this country, dude. We will not have you fucking assholes steal another goddamn election from us. Enough is enough of this fucking shit, dude. It's time for you oath-breaking pricks to fuck off permanently and get the fuck out of our country. End of story. Enough is enough of your bullshit. That's about it for today. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Fuck Tom Cooke. He's a pre-oath breaking sack of shit. He's also just an oath breaker in general because he's literally a military vet in this country. So he's obviously broken his oath of office when he's calling for confiscation of American citizens' weaponry and trying to pose it under the, oh, but it's all regulation. No, dude, it's you literally calling for fucking assault weapons bans, dude. Which you've already deemed unconstitutional. By the way, for those who don't know, before we leave this episode right now, dude, 94 2004, there were multiple, and I'm talking about dozens and dozens of court challenges to that unconstitutional piece of shit for the decade it was in place there, dude. The only reason none of them ever went through is because it was Bill Clinton and George H.W. Bush appointed judges at that time who kept dismissing the cases on BS grounds. They knew damn well that the 94 assault weapons ban was unconstitutional as fuck in this country, but yet they kept dismissing stuff because they were crooked-ass, fucking corrupt pieces of shit, just like the same exact way that Tom Cooke is a crooked-ass, corrupt piece of fucking shit, Bloomberg and Mom's Man Action fucking plant that's trying to get into our state senate right now, and fuck that noise. And fuck that asshole, dude. Never again, motherfucker. Butler County will go red. If it doesn't go red, there is 100% voter fraud there, and I will do every single thing in my power personally to take pieces of shit like you down, Tom Cooke, and expose your fucking criminality and expose the fucking Michael Bloomberg anti-gun network in this state that has been buying off state house people for over a decade now. So fuck around and find out, motherfucker. You just pissed off the wrong goddamn autist. Fuck you. Peace out to everybody else. Hope you enjoy this episode. Later.